We're working together on a trial basis, and it's been going on for 27 years.
It's incredible to work with actors and help them realize a character. A lot of times actors really haven't thought about a character until they meet us.
I think a lot of times we're the first contact they have with the material. We're already pretty deep into our research and our design at that point.
It's incredible to have an actor walk out of a fitting and thank you and say, you know, I didn't know who this character was until we did this. The producer of it, Robbie Brenner, called us. I think it was kind of personal for both of us just because it dealt with AIDS. We moved from Denver around the same time to New York. So I feel like we had kind of a grasp of that part of the country. Everybody puts the 80s kind of in this cliched, you know, big hair, shoulder pads, all that kind of stuff. But I remember in Denver seeing cowboys that I still see when I go home to Denver, and they're still dressed the same way.
For the Midwest, it's still, there's a lot of the 70s left over, and then there's also just a lot of rural Americana, you know, just workwear clothes.
Financially, it was very hard to do what we had to do, but it also kind of played into exactly what the characters were.
We drove from New Orleans to Texas, and we probably hit every single thrift store on the way there. And then in Houston, we dug through old rag houses to find all that stuff that still exists there, you know.
I think we would have approached it the same way whether we had a lot of money or no money like we had. Rayon was really inspiring for us. It was really important for us to help tell her story and make sure that she had a lot of dignity in her.
The clothes for Rayon were real clothes. They weren't clothes that were built, and also they weren't stage clothes, and I hope it just reinforces the authenticity of it and the lack of theatricality, you know, for the character and for the clothes. When Jared first got cast, we sent him some pictures that friends like Nan Golden had photographed from the same time period. I think those resonated with Jared, and that was kind of like the starting point.
Jared came in. We got a call. He was at his hotel. He wanted to see us. He wanted us to bring clothes. Nobody had met him yet. We threw a bunch of stuff in duffel bags. We went to his room. Jared came out with a wig, heels, and lipstick on and said hello. And we started talking about Rayon, and the clothes flew out, and we went through everything. But it was very important for him to kind of figure out who Rayon was somewhat there. And then we got in a car and we went back to the production office, and he met Jean-Marc for the first time for a reading. And Jean-Marc has said the same thing. He said, you know, I met Rayon and I didn't meet Jared, I don't think, until after the movie was over.
As the conservator, my main duties are to get the objects ready for exhibition display.
That dress came from a secondhand shop that was outside of Baton Rouge. It was great fabric, great color. It fit him fantastic. It was still left over from the 70s.
Once the object enters the Academy Museum, we treat it as a museum object and therefore handle it with the same care that we'd give any other object in a museum. For Rayon's costume, it consists of a floral print mini dress and a fur jacket.
Where it was fitting in the story is like where Rayon's feeling really good and looking really good. I think it's kind of her at her brightest. It's great that these clothes are going to be, you know, preserved and archived and exhibited.
Which is a lot of work. You know, archiving and preserving is a lot of work, and we're very thankful the Academy is doing this.